Oil is a waste turpentine enriched with metals. The metal vanadium strengthens the metal properties and the metal nickel resists corrosion. The fact is that our planet has a technogenic origin in its entirety, and everything that we have allegedly discovered today is just a repetition of the real. But ordinary people hidden from the slaves from us. There are hydro generators underground, the blades of which, like the blades of hydroelectric power plants, spin the waters of the world's oceans for the subsequent generation of energy. For the operation of this device, a lubricating fluid is required, which is turpentine extracted from coniferous trees. By the way, all our forests are very young, no more than 200 years old, and all these forests are very much cut down. Probably, from this wood, the whole planet could be made furniture, but alas! All the wood is used to squeeze the sap of that very turpentine, and sawdust is used for furniture. When planetary hydroelectric power plants operate, water from the oceans flows into them and the level of the oceans drops by about 18 meters per day. For ordinary people, slaves, they came up with an explanation. They say the ebb. The influence of the moon, which attracts kilometers of ocean water and only sand and seawater does not touch, some strange attraction, but for slaves who are constantly in an alcoholic state. This explanation will do. The liquid passing through the turbine blades is heated and thrown back into the ocean, while the water swirls and funnels are formed, such as in the Bermuda Triangle. Ships and even airplanes fall into these craters, as these generators rotate to create vortices and turbulence. The turpentine passing through the turbine burns black and from contact with the turbine is enriched with metals such as vanadium, which strengthens the metallic properties and nickel metal that resists corrosion, and then the turpentine is discharged into underground collectors of artificial origin and is already called oil. Subsequently, this oil is extracted and processed more precisely. It is purified with sulfur, of which there is a lot of oil, and sold to us as gasoline, so the spent turpentine is utilized. Why this is exactly what happens, and very simply spent turpentine overflows underground collectors and it needs to be put somewhere, and for this they came up with an oil business. This business was given to the Rockefellers. Well, to their people who are aware of many events in our life, but are not particularly willing to advertise it. So the spent turpentine is pumped out of the ground and processed into gasoline. It is not for nothing that the BIPI emblem depicts a fir cone, a symbol of where the black gold originally comes from. So, in fact, you and I were turned into slaves who live only to dispose of spent turpentine, that is, oil.